evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday, May 24th, 2016 Board of Education meeting for the Gilliland Central School District. Everybody please rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda tonight is we're going to recognize our retirees and our tenured employees. So, having said that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Lynn Severance, or Dr. Severance.
It's freezing in here. Thank you very much, Mr. Simpson. It is my pleasure to welcome you all here this evening to celebrate two significant events in the professional career of an educator. One at the beginning, the recognition of tenure, and then at the, I shouldn't say the end, well, the end of the professional career, the recognition of it's time to move on to another chapter in our lives, and those folks have made a decision to retire. So we have a very special evening for you, and I'd like to begin with a couple of thank yous. I'd like to thank Linda Mossop and her food service staff for the refreshments on the back table. I'd like to thank Barb Jager, my secretary and right hand, for keeping track of all of the amazing details that goes into putting an event like this on. And I'd also like to thank Sheila Ilario, our instructional administrator for Art K-12, for the centerpiece honoring our tenurees and our retirees on the back table. You'll notice the symbolism of the tree with a strong foundation represented by our retiring employees with many, many years of dedicated service to the district. Up in the branches, you'll find the honorees receiving tenure. Each apple represents a tenuree, and I'm happy to let you know that you may take your apple with you this evening as a memento. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Wiles to the podium to speak on behalf of these two important events.
Thank you, Dr. Severance, and good evening, everyone. It is always such a pleasure to celebrate with all of you on this, what I think is a momentous occasion. I like to think of it as a celebration of the bookends of a career. We have with us our esteemed retirees who have done tremendous work with our students, and we have our newest class of faculty and staff who will be tenured when they return to work in the fall. And this means a great deal to us. So I'd like to begin by telling you a little story about what happened actually last night at the high school, final high school concert by the, it was the orchestra in the wind ensemble. So I'm sitting there enjoying this remarkable concert, and I see some folks in the audience today who were there last night. And toward the end of the program, Kathleen Ellinger, who is the director of the wind ensemble, got up to introduce the seniors who would be graduating in a month and recognize them for their many accomplishments. And then she picked up her baton and was about to start the last piece, but one of the clarinet players got up with a giant bouquet of flowers and said essentially, "Wait a minute, I have something to say." And he went on to say words to this effect. I didn't have anything to write with, so I'm going to speak from memory. But he said, well, you just recognized all of us as seniors and our accomplishments. He said, but we would like to recognize you. Yes, we're here to learn music, but the vast majority of us on this stage are not going to go on and be music majors. We appreciate all you've done to us, for us, to make us better musicians. But he said, you didn't prepare us for music, you prepared us for life. And then he went on to say, we will have a little piece of you, Miss Ellinger, for the rest of our lives in us. And then flowers were exchanged and hugs were made, and I think there were some not dry eyes in the house. And she put the flowers down, it was about to start, and then she turned back to the microphone and said, this is why I teach. Yeah. So I knew I was going to be talking with all of you tonight. School people, This is why we're school people. Kids remember school people. And Mrs. Ellinger, I think, was really lucky. She has no idea I'm telling the story tonight. Because she heard that thank you and that memory right then and there. And for a lot of us, you never really hear it because kids think of it 10 or 15 or 20 years later when it finally dawns on them, wow, that bus driver, nurse, secretary, teacher, teaching assistant really made a difference for me. So I want to say to all of our retirees and our class of tenurees, there are children out there who remember you. They really do. You have made a difference. So for those of you who are wrapping up these last few days of school, I want to say thank you and congratulations. And boy, I'm happy you've been here as long as you have to make a difference in students' lives. So let's give a round of applause for our retirees. I'm not done yet. I promise I won't go on too long because we have a group of individuals here who are being recognized because they are going to be awarded the amazing acknowledgement of tenure. Now, I know in lots of places people think that tenure is the culmination of a demonstration of 3 or now 4 years of quality teaching and learning and all of the things that we look for in a quality educator. But I want you to think differently about tenure. I want you to think about tenure as the recognition of not what you have done, but of the potential for what you will do. Because that's what we're looking for. All of you who are going to be recognized for tenure tonight, this is the beginning of the journey, not the end of the journey. And I want you to reflect on what is it? What are those memories you want kids to have of you many, 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 many years from now when we're recognizing you at retirement? The idea is we're in school, we're all educators, and it's all about learning. And I love the metaphor of our event tonight with bookends, because what's in between bookends? But books filled with learning. So I congratulate our new class of tenure teachers. I think we have a great future ahead, and we will look forward to all it is that you will do to make a difference in the lives of our children here in Guilderland. So congratulations to each and every one of you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Dr. Wiles. So it is my privilege now to present to the Board of Education and our educational community our newly tenured employees. We're recognizing 11 individuals this evening, receiving tenure in 10 different areas. A recommendation for tenure by the superintendent and approval by the Board of Education is an acknowledgement that your skills and performance meet and will continue to meet the very highest standards and expectations as a professional in the Guilderland Central School District. We congratulate you. The introductions will be made by members of our administrative team. Tenurees, when your name is mentioned, if you could please stand and introduce the individuals you've brought with you, or who have supported you along your journey. And then we'll move right on to the next administrator, all right? So we'll begin with Dr. Beth Beanie, principal of Westmere Elementary School.
Good evening. It's my privilege and honor to recognize the following individuals from Westmere and Linwood Elementary Schools. In the area of library media specialists, Mrs. D. Johnson.
I brought my husband Al with me, but couldn't have done it without my entire family.
In the tenure area of elementary education, third grade teacher, Mrs. Meg Polino.
I'd like to thank my husband and my brother and sister, and my parents for wandering around the hallways with
area of elementary education from Linwood Elementary, Jacqueline Vandenberg.
Thank you. I'm here with my husband and some of my great colleagues. Couldn't have done it without them, and my amazing principal, Mrs. Rizzo, and thank you to the board.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Bisnet Jenks from the middle school.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege today to represent the middle school and introduce two outstanding educators who are being honored today with tenure. The first of which is being honored for tenure in mathematics, and that is Miss Katie Matthews.
Thanks, everyone. I'm here tonight with my mom, Jeanette, my dad, Bob, my boyfriend, Brendan, my colleague, Maureen, who has been a tremendous mentor to me. Oh, my brother's in the doorway. Thanks, perfect entrance. And I want to give a special thank you to all of the Guilderland teachers who taught me when I was a student here, who inspired me to become a teacher.
In addition, I'd like to recognize our second Farnsworth Middle School teacher who's being awarded tenure tonight. His name is Max Corbett in the area of technology.
I'd like to thank my wife for the late nights of working on lesson plans when you first starting out, and the faculty and staff at Farnsworth for the support in helping me achieve this.
Excellent. At this time, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Marcia Ranieri for World Languages and Culture.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Lauren Anderson. Lauren is being tenured in the area of foreign language. Lauren is a French teacher here at Guilderland High School.
I would like to thank you, Marcia, and my colleagues, and I also brought my husband, Devin, with me tonight.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Director for Pupil Personnel Services, Lisa Knowles.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce Deborah Cottage Parado, who is receiving tenure in the area of speech and hearing handicap. Deborah is a speech pathologist here at Guilderland High School.
Well, thank you for granting me tenure. I'm very excited about that. And I'm here tonight with my husband, Brian.
I would like to introduce Mr. Alex Finsell, Instructional Administrator for English, Language Arts, Social Studies, and Reading.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here as a representative of the world's greatest social studies and English department and to introduce you to Mr. Derek Kopp, who is our newest addition to the social studies department, who has his tenure area in secondary social studies.
I couldn't be here tonight, but I did get to watch my son play lacrosse this evening against Niski, so that was fun. But I wanted to thank all the faculty and administration here for the wonderful support I've received. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you.
I would like to reintroduce the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Marie Wiles.
And it is my pleasure to introduce the principal of Farnsworth Middle School, Mr. Michael Lastard. Congratulations.
Thank you, Board of Education. With me tonight is my wife Sarah and my fourth grade son Brendan and my first grade son Cormac from Gilderland Elementary School. I'd like to thank the faculty, staff, parents, and students of the Farnsworth Middle School community. It's been a great 3 years, and I'm excited to continue my work here working with all of you. So I look forward to the future. Thank you.
All right. At this time, it's my pleasure to share the accomplishment of 25 individuals making the decision to begin a new chapter of their lives with the decision to retire. This esteemed group of individuals includes 5 bus drivers, 5 teaching assistants, 2 custodial workers, 1 clerical worker, 11 teachers, and 1 automobile mechanic. Together, that they have accumulated and dedicated 528 years of service to this district. It's pretty impressive. So not everyone was able to make it this evening, but we are pleased to be able to present each one of our retirees with a beautiful plaque on behalf of the Board of Education. For everyone that is retiring this evening, and the area from which they are retiring is in the back of the program, so if you look at that, you'll see everyone. For those in attendance tonight, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Alan Simpson, our board president, and Dr. Wiles, our superintendent of schools, back up for the presentation of plaques. When I call your name, please do not be shy and come forward to receive your plaque. First up, Sherry Lee Baldwin is retiring as a teaching assistant. She's been with Gilderland for 12 years. Charles Bender Charles Bender Jr. retires as a science teacher after 31 years of service to the district. Oops.
We're not going to let Charles go. He's got to stay one more year.
My goodness gracious. I think it was a surprise, Charles, that you were coming. I know you're in here, sir.
All right, so while she's looking, I have a story. Actually, Judy Slack has a story. Her daughter is a science teacher, and she is a science teacher in large part because of you. And she recently said she finds herself opening her mouth, having the words of Chuck Bender come out.
Scary thought.
A little bit, but congratulations. I promise we'll find it.
I think we can find it later.
Too funny.
And for my next act, it's like this thing.
You can't go, Chuck.
I swear, I'm so sorry.
We'll find it. It's going to show up.
Oh my goodness, the time that we spent preparing, I'm so sorry.
Judith Carnivus a mathematics teacher with 13 years of service to the district. Brian Craig is retiring as a school bus driver with 22 years of service to the district. Kay DuBose retires from the district after 15 years of service as a teacher of family and consumer science. Maceo DuBose Jr., school counselor, retires with 15 years of service to the district. Patrick Mabb, an automobile mechanic in our transportation department, retires from the district with 14 years of service. And Shirley Neat, a senior keyboard specialist, retires with 26 years of service to the school district. At this time, I would like to invite our board president, Mr. Alan Simpson, to speak on behalf of the Board of Education.
Thanks, Dr. Severance. Thanks, Marie. Congratulations to all you retirees. It's a great honor to stand up here and shake your hand and to see a wealth of knowledge leave the building. But we also have some nice new talent coming in, so I'm very proud to see that we have a very prosperous class coming in, and I can't wait to see all the contributions that you'll make in the future. Thank you very much, and good luck with your both in retirement and your new careers.
To each one of you, as you retire, may you look back with pride on all you have done. May you remember fondly the friendships that you have made and the lives that you have touched. May you look forward with anticipation of wonderful times ahead, and may you move on in happiness and in health. On behalf of the Board of Education, the school district, and the entire Guilderland community, thank you for many years of service. Congratulations to everyone celebrating an achievement this evening. Mr. Simpson, shall we take a 5-minute recess?
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you very much for coming.